Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Lizard are here with you today to talk about Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 2. Hi. I'm a person of many, many words. That's our Lizard. And
I have many words for this episode, but I'm trying to keep it contained until the right times.
I have so much fury, you guys. So much fury. Bear with me.
I just gotta add that we have a unseen obstacle during this episode. Ellie, the baby, has found the wire connecting the microphone to our audio set. So
Yeah, and the cord is running down alongside my leg, and every once in a while I get these little claws in my leg because she's trying to get the cord. So if you hear me go eek or something, it's okay, guys. I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, you guys, welcome back. We follow along the episodes exactly like they show it on TV, so you'll feel like you're with it if you can't watch.
But it is out of chronological order. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, you never really know when any of these things were said unless you can connect it to a specific event like Thanksgiving or Christmas or a funeral or something like that.
Or wedding.
Or wedding, anything happy or sad, any of those events. So we open up in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Janelle and Maddie helped Isabel move back to Utah. And so they are going to take Maddie's kids and go look at some property
up in Montana.
Yeah, like right over the Montana,
they said it was 5 hours away from Salt Lake City. So it's just right there between Montana and Utah.
Yes, and so it's about 5 hours also from Christine and all her crew.
Yes.
Which is still a lot closer than across the country. So Janelle says that she and Cody are done and she doesn't need a divorce or need to say the word divorce. In her mind, it's just over and that's it.
Which, is valid, so some people deal with their separations differently.
Exactly, and we all know that Janelle's always been kind of she holds all of her emotions very close to the vest. So
yes,
yeah, so you don't really know what she's feeling until she's ready to let you know she's feeling it. And Janelle says that the Cody Pass property is the only asset that she and Meri will take from the marriage if they're able to pay it off and actually get the equity out of the land or have them buy them out or pay or sell it or whatever they want to do.
But Cody isn't talking to Janelle at all about the land.
He refuses to talk about at all.
And saying that it's just gossip. Like, dude, talking about the financial business of a property you guys are owning is not passing on gossip.
Well, you're getting ahead of us a little bit. I don't know what you're talking about yet, but it's okay. We'll get there.
I'm angry.
And okay, so this is while Janelle and Maddie are in the car driving this, 5 hours to Montana to the property to look at it. And she says that Meri is very unlikely to build on the property for obvious reasons. But Janelle isn't really sure yet. She still has that dream of having her little homestead on that property.
Yeah.
And then we also know, as she's mentioned like every season since it happened, multiple times, Janelle wants her money from the down payment on Robyn's house. She has said it since it happened. She didn't understand why they had to put their money in for it and why they bought her house instead of renting or whatever. It was a whole rigmarole back then. But I don't blame her. It's her money. She earned it. Same thing with Meri. She get her money out of it too.
Right.
And
that's what I really like that Janelle was like, if she could put it fairly, she would make sure that Meri got her share. Which I like that Janelle she even says she knows that Meri hasn't been treated equally or as well as in the family as the other wives.
Oh, yeah. And they just let it happen, which is bullshit in my mind, but that's a different podcast.
Right.
And so Janelle said that she sees him as whoever, buying assets and sitting on them. like trailers and all the little four-wheeler things
And the art.
all of the art on their walls, which we have talked about since at least last season, maybe before.
By the way, y'all, if you can look up their like listings, because Robyn put her house for sale.
$1.6 million, y'all.
And you'll get to see all the artwork she's bought on the walls.
And what's crazy is that to stage their house, I bet they had to get an entire giant moving truck just to get enough crap out of their house in order to stage it for those pictures on the realtor website. Because it is empty. It looks very empty compared to if you ever like see her house on the show. It's full because they're always buying stuff.
Well, also, you only ever see her house during the holidays, though, so they might just.
Well, that's the only time that TLC's like, look, we have to come in. It's Christmas.
Well, maybe they just only have stuff out for the holidays. Maybe that's why they have so much empty spaces. Oh, the tree's gonna go there, so we can put a table.
This village that was like $150 for each little house.
Right? They need to keep this place open for the Christmas village.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. Anyway, so when I guess the producers asked her about why they were able to have all these nice things while the other I didn't know the sister wives didn't maybe have such nice things. Robyn said she learned to budget very, very well after her divorce, and if the other wives didn't have nice things, they must have prioritized other things with their money, like their kids' health care, clothing, schooling, household expenses, you're doing all those things without using credit cards. Okay, so that you can go and buy these expensive things and have all this crap that mean nothing.
Right? And just like it's very annoying. And she starts talking about she wasn't very good at finances before her divorce and everything. And I'm like, do you even know what's going on with the financials? Do you even know what's going on? Or do you just smile and nod as Cody says this is how the financials work and you just let do whatever? Like
it's really funny to me that everything was all in one big family pot, everything was equal until Robyn came along and she says she doesn't know anything about money, but maybe she's the one leading the charge by saying, hey, we need to have, an estate. We need to protect our, our old age and our kids. And, I don't want to share with them so much because they haven't been supportive of you or whatever. We don't know who's whispering in whose ear regarding that.
Right? And it's just like either Robyn is just a supremely stupid, or they're both just together just the cruelest people
and greedy.
Right? The selfish.
The people who have worked the least are ended up having the most.
Okay, Mama could say I hate lying and selfish people. Like I
ditto.
They annoy me very much, and it's just like. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be a little selfish, taking an extra couple cookies for myself. Oh, it's selfish. You're supposed to be in a poor family, but you're taking all the time away from the husband and most of the money, keeping the nice stuff for you and your kids, while also claiming victim all the time. You claim they're like, oh, well, we didn't have a nice, good relationship, but you had all the nice stuff. You had all the stuff.
And you had the dad around all the time.
And you had anytime you wanted something done, he made it happen. Your opinion always mattered more. No wonder they didn't like you. You're the golden wife. You're the golden wife.
Exactly. Well, and so Janelle then mentions about how her adult kids got very angry with the inequity because she was good to just go along. Everything was fine. She didn't really care as long as everything was happy and everybody got along and whatever.
Right.
And then it became overwhelmingly obvious to everyone who has seen the show, and obviously they're not stupid that they notice it too, right. And they got mad on their mother's behalf.
And you can't say the kids don't watch the shows. Robyn or family claim they don't watch a show, which I guess if you want to be stupid and not know about what's going on within your family, whatever. But the other kids do.
Well, Robyn may not watch, but Cody does. And he's bitching and complaining to her about every single thing he sees.
But he's twisting it around whenever he sees it. Says, oh, they're just attacking us. They're attacking me.
They're trash talking me.
So gossip.
So, moving on to that, Cody says there's lots of trash talk in the family. Some true, but most not. Well, at least he's admitting to some of it, I guess. And Cody says that Maddie cut him off, not the other way around. But she only ever fished for gossip when she talked to him, and he got sick of it. So, okay, in his one sentence there, he contradicts himself. He says she cut him off, but all she ever did was fish for gossip, and he got sick of it.
So,
So who cut off who?
you know that's because she was asking real questions about like what the probably pointing out the obvious, and he just got mad about it. He's like, "Oh, you're not 100% on my side loyalty wise, then you're not on my side."
And to him, that's a big thing, that thing called loyalty. And I have a problem with that word because loyalty is earned. Loyalty is a two-way street. He was never very loyal to the first couple of wives, at least. And then after Robyn came along, he was never loyal to Janelle either.
Or any of his kids. Like again, it was always more Robyn and her kids.
Well, and they always said that if you were out with a mom, the kids were out too.
Yeah.
So he would take his irritation at the mom out on her kids.
And you can't tell me that wasn't a manipulation, abusive tactic he used to keep the wives in line. Because as Janelle said, she had no problem until her kids were having problems. So
Exactly.
all the wives were putting their kids first and not causing problems and letting arguments go and being the one to apologize when they should have had to. And then he claims now they never loved them and he doesn't care about any of this.
And all that sacrifice and all that biting their tongue and eating shit and bowing down and kissing his ass so that their kids could have a dad. I am not that type of woman. I'm not.
No,
I'd burn him down.
no.
I would burn him down. If someone did me like that, okay, and Papa knows this about me. He knew this before we got married, so he was informed. If you're gonna do me like that after everything, I'm an open 100%. You need something, I got you, you know? But if you're gonna turn around and do me like that after 20 plus years together,
Right?
oh no, I will burn your entire life down. I will make you lose your job. I'll get your car repoed. I'll dox your entire freaking social security number all over the entire planet. I will burn your life down.
Well, according to recent news, Christina has filed for Christine. I'm so sorry about your name. Don't get mad.
It's late here in the Midwest. Sorry.
Yes. Christine has been filed for retroactive child support.
I'm telling y'all, everybody put a woo in the comments if you think it's about time.
Right? Get his money and some of his assets for your kids, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
She's gonna put that money right back to her kids, and you know that she would be just like this is the money he gave me. It's child support. Ellie decided to attack a door.
So Robyn says that she still has hope for Janelle and Cody, and I got news for her. That ain't never gonna happen now. But Cody loved Caleb, and because they were always the best little buddies, and he was the son he always wanted, and blah 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 blah, and he blames the divorce with Christine for their strange relationship.
You know how terrible it is, especially with the events with Garrison, to hear that he's the son he wanted.
Well, he didn't literally say that, and it was many years ago, but yeah, he and Caleb were like best pals.
But the fact that he is hanging out with these other like men like Tony and not with his own sons killed them.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Absolutely.
That's not a joke. That wasn't to make anything. I didn't make, but that kind of aching you feel in your heart whenever something really hurts.
If you've ever had a parent who's neglectful, you get it. You just know what you're talking about.
You find that sharpness in your chest whenever you think about it. I don't have to watch our show. Probably not. None of the wives probably know who we are, but if you do, I'm so sorry. You went through decades of crap.
We are so angry on your behalf. That,
Right?
if we could reach the TV, the man would be a puddle of bruises because we're so angry to marry you.
And Meri, none of this would have been possible for him without you.
Yeah, none of it happened without you. So he's so full of shit.
Right?
And here's my note. Cody is totally clueless about his own responsibility for the breakdown in the relationship with his adult kids. He is delusional. He doesn't see his own responsibility. He cannot be accountable for anything.
As I said in the last season, he's nutty. He's a nut job.
Look, I don't know if he needs it. I'm like, obviously, last season he was a little unbalanced and manic. Obviously, he either calmed down or got medicated, and that's good for him because that's a real mental illness and it needs to be medicated. Um, but yeah, I mean, he just really doesn't get it. It's on him,
Right? Like
you know?
he's the center. He's literally the center of the problem. He was the reason why the thing broke off because he was the center of the problem.
Amen. And before we go to commercial two, we found out that Peyton is a bouncer at a strip club. So she is very proud.
A gentleman's club. He referred to it as a gentleman's club. We know what
That's a strip club, y'all.
be nice to him.
I mean, hey, it's a job. Whatever. And that bouncer can pay pretty well, depending on where you're working.
Right? And he's a tall, big dude. Like, he can do that.
Yeah, he didn't get that from Cody.
No, not at all. I love his name, though, but it reminds me of that name of the Peyton, the demon from like Hereditary.
Oh. Okay, moving on.
Sorry.
After the second commercial, we're in Flagstaff, and Christina's visiting Janelle. And Janelle says that she most likely will not build on Cody Pass, and she might even ask Cody if he wants to buy her out, because, and she's like, if Cody won't talk to her about when the land is going to be paid off, because some of them have paid off their parcels.
Yeah.
But they're waiting on him and Robyn to pay off their large parcels, and they don't have the money because basically they have a shell game going with money between the house and then the land, and then
The
loans
art.
for this and loans for that, and then all the money they're spending on credit cards and art, like the assets that they're just sitting on.
Yeah.
And it's on television. It's such an obvious shell game.
Right, and then she talks about she's not sure about her legal rights to it because they were never married, and they're like, again, like, did you want to lawyer up? And I'm like, just show them the show. Just use the show as like he has said many times on the show 30
years here, y'all,
that they are together, that they all
are married.
They all have a stake not only in Robyn's house but the land. There's living on TV for the public to see, and that would be I feel like should be admissible in court.
Well, there may not be a legal marriage. There is a lot of
there's a lot of proof of a stable relationship together, and then the verbal agreements for this land and even Robyn's house.
And what I think is amazing is that Janelle says that she will not interact with Cody again after the property is settled. And I was like, hell yeah, girl!
I just realized something.
What?
Because Janelle's talking about getting her stake back from the house, and they just put the house up for sale. Do you think Janelle's going to get any of them are going to get their stake back, or do you think they're going to be like, no, it's only in our name?
That really depends on if they put it in writing. Like, this much money came from this person and we will pay it back. This much money came from this person and we will pay it back. Like, I don't know how it was, like, if they put anything in writing, made anything legal.
Right.
Obviously they talked a lot on the show about, again, how much what they all own and all this stuff and how much they all put in the house. But again, there's so much evidence that they agreeing that, yeah, they put all this money in on the down payment for this house because they had no money. And how do you have no money whenever you're the big patriarch and you're the big boss and you make all the money and all?
They don't want to use their money.
Again, that's what I'm saying. So they wanted to get as much out of everybody before they made them all go away. Well, actually, no. Cody was so evil and vile to them for 2 straight years that he did make them go away. And then they end up, like I said, they end up with everything. The 2 that did the least work and put in the least amount of investment get everything. And that infuriates me.
I really hope he, like, cause for like the court stuff, having to put in like his financial stuff for the child support, that I hope the IRS finds something. I hope they find everything, and I hope not because of their kids. I hope their kids stay all right. And I feel like if anything actually happened with Robyn's kids, the other wives would step up for them. I can't see them not to after raising them for so long. But I won't trust Robyn.
I know 100% Meri would. But again, here's the thing. The only ones that are minors is Solomon and Ari, and they have 3 adult siblings.
True, you are right.
So, I mean, if they wanted to, they would be able to take care of them. But I mean, I know 100% Meri would. I know
No,
Christine and Janelle would too, because they're decent women and they wouldn't take it out on the children.
well, no, I meant more like financially, because if their parents get taken by the IRS, there's not going to be.
Well, no, they would need to be, raised by someone. Absolutely.
Because it seems like all her children still live at home too. I don't think they have moved out yet, have they?
I'm not sure exactly where Dayton is living. He was living in a trailer on the property. I don't know if the girls still live at home. I know Aurora was living in the basement, and Brianna still had her room, I guess. And I don't know. It's been a couple of years since we've actually had detailed information on what the
Right.
kids are up to.
Right. And especially after what happened after the funeral, things have been really quiet with everyone. We've only gotten recent information about, like, Christine putting in like the for the child support, and then we heard that apparently McKelty might have cut off Robyn, but that's not confirmed yet. There hasn't been like too much information about
Because of
that.
something that happened at a funeral.
Yeah, like we don't know much about it, and we're not gonna know much about it until
And none of them will give you detailed information because they're either A, holding out to write a book, or B, they're hoping to get like an exclusive or something and make more money off of it. Or it's the only reason I can't see for them, just to be honest, because all of the kids are adults. And if they're never going to see each other again, then what does it matter? Just be honest.
or C, TLC.
They won't let them be honest.
They'll let them put out certain information due to the show rights.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
Back to the show currently.
to the show, y'all.
2022.
So then he's all whining about how Janelle led him on and strung him along all the time. And Meri's just like, Karma's a bitch.
She always
She
says
said, that's exactly what you did to me.
that's exactly what she says.
And I love Meri. She just really doesn't have any fucks to give anymore. And so she does say what she thinks.
And I love the fact that she's distanced herself from the family so much that she's able just to look at what they're doing and just make fun of them. Especially Cody, especially her comments against Cody. It's just a perfect 10 out of 10.
Like, I ain't got to do nothing to you because you are fucking yourself. You are doing yourself in. You are doing it all by yourself.
Meri, if I ever get a podcast with someone, I need it from you, Meri. I need all the information from the entirety, from the start to finish.
Or even just something interesting about you, because I know that there's more to the story that he is telling. You know what I mean? Like the story that he's telling makes no sense. He's trying to rewrite history to make himself look the victim of the entire thing. And that is not the way it works, because I read y'all's book. I've watched every episode of y'all's show many times. I've written notes upon notes upon notes. We've done podcast after podcast. Girl, we got you. You come talk to us, we got you. And Cody says he has no interest in his former faith bullshit, but Janelle still believes in their faith, and she would do plural marriage again if the right circumstance allowed.
So it just seemed like another kick in the teeth to his ex-wives, because the only reason they were ever put in this situation with them is because he said he believed in the faith and wanted them to join. The whole thing about it is that women can't have plural husbands.
Again, the man and the first wife, like they can court, like they can date.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was up to the wife basically to recruit the other wives, because it was unseemly for the man to go looking for other wives.
Right.
So it's like, without Meri, and all the wives have said it, without Meri, they wouldn't have been there.
Right. And even said that if can I talk about the Janelle thing later on, the patriarchy? Or are you gonna talk about it later?
That's not we're coming up to that.
Okay, I'm gonna say my words then.
And then Cody tries to backtrack, and he says he didn't mean that he wanted to revert to patriarchy back when Christine was leaving, and he was all upset and having his, his butt hurt all the time. But he was speaking out of grief and failure, which, we all agree that Cody's a big fat failure. But again, you can't just say things to people play with their mind, play with their emotions, and then expect them to be like, oh, you were having a thing. It's okay. When you act like an asshole like that for, 2 years.
That's the whole thing about it. Like, you said, oh, just out of anger and grief. But you were like that for 2 years. They didn't know that. They don't know. They can't read your mind. And the fact that, and Janelle even said, if he had said that straight up, like, oh, I'm a patriarchy, I'm going to be in the stronghold of the family, you got to bow control to me. She said she wouldn't have married him.
I'd volunteer for that. Unless you're just okay, I was gonna say a word that was not very nice, but I understand that there are other people who are not like us and who feel more comforted and loved being led and being.
Just have someone make the choices and be the more dominant one in the relationship.
Yes, and some people feel more loved and safe that way, and that's perfectly fine if it isn't being
Control again, like being
super controlling and unfair and unequal.
yeah.
It has to be 50-50 when it comes to not just money.
Janelle isn't the one to be controlled. She likes her independence. She likes
Yes,
her
you
own
do.
thing, and she even says that later about the fact that she had to change every time he came over because his needs was so exhausting that she realized she likes her life better without him. It's lots of stress.
Basically, because of her faith, she can't do booty calls. She has to be married, whether legally or spiritually, to a man in order to have sex with him. That is their faith. She slept with 2 women in her life, and they're both her husbands.
Sorry, which is the word you referred to as a booty call. So
I mean, like, obviously,
I know
Janelle is a sexual person. Cody talks all the time about how she used them for sex, and that's all she wanted them for. And it sounds to me, from her description, that she wants someone to get along and everything's fine and come together for some time, and then he goes away and she has her independence. She wants someone to come by for a booty call and then go away.
Isn't that what we all want?
No, I actually like spending time with my husband.
You know my views.
I do. Well, that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
So after the third commercial, Cody said that about 8 weeks ago, and I have no idea when this was taped, so this could have been a year ago, for all we know.
Back in 2022. This is
No, not when this happened.
oh
That when Meri went to their church to
oh
request a release, so that because she said that she does not want to spend eternity with him. And I do not blame you, girl. I would have had enough of his ass just now, and I'm glad that you're enjoying his comeuppance as much as we are.
you divorced him once,
Right.
right?
And Meri said that Cody was resistant in asking for a release from the church because he doesn't want to acknowledge any authority that they had over him.
String her along just a little bit longer, Cody. Why don't you?
Right, it's because he says his former faith, and honestly, despite how disgusting I find him, I would love to talk to him on a podcast to find out where the faith went. Like, at what point did he decide that it was bullshit?
Right.
I would love to know that.
And I think it's probably on the time where he decided that he was never in love with Meri or any of them. He didn't really like it. He was controlled in this type of marriage. He didn't have any rights in this type of marriage.
She was always angry at him.
And he always had make so many sacrifices.
Anyway. So my note here is that Cody is still a dick about Meri and says men weren't allowed to ask for a release if they wanted to stay faithful to their church. So even if he said that he never would have left them no matter how much he didn't love them. And I'm like, you fuck-faced, you murky bastard.
He knows what his words do, and I just want to punch him. I just want to punch him with a chair.
And here's the thing, Cody, all these things you're saying to the producers and to us and the things, these are the words that your adult children are hearing, and this is the reason they are angry at you. You are not because their mothers are telling them anything.
You're telling.
You telling them how you have felt or would feel about their mothers, and guess what? When you do that publicly and they find out about it, it's gonna piss them off. Take note, sir.
Right, if you had just gone to your kids and to your wife and said, hey, I think we've all come to the same realization for a while now. This ain't working, and we all need. And I love my kids. I love all of you, but I'm just not in love with your mothers anymore. We're just not working. And it just being honest. But he's selfish, and he keeps leading them along.
And it's he doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Because he knows he makes some money too. And,
Very true.
and the more money he makes, the more nice him and Robyn live.
And he said that Meri, Janelle, and Christine all asked him to leave their home. And again, he said he never would have left them. But here's the thing. All your kids are pissed at you. All your wives but one left you. Okay? What is the common denominator here? It's not Christine. It's not Janelle. It's not Maddie. It's not Meri. The common denominator, the reason that everybody's pissed off is you, Cody.
As I like to put it, you're humble but in the wrong direction.
But then he says he doesn't want to play the victim card. Like, they all made him leave, but he doesn't want to play the victim. He's not the victim. But the wives are the victims.
No, he just literally left. He wouldn't leave Robyn's house to go see his wives or kids.
So yeah, he really did emotionally and pretty physically left them.
Right? Like, where were you? You weren't even at your child's surgery. You didn't make a time to go visit your child's surgery.
Yeah, I think that was what ended it with Christine for him. So I mean, I don't believe he can't understand that.
Yeah, and Cody being a dick to his children. You don't be a dick to the kids.
And otherwise, your wives will get pissed and leave. If they're a good mom, anyway.
Let me tell you, as a kid who one of the parents couldn't stop shutting up about how awful the other parent was anytime we visited, which, spoiler alert, it wasn't Mama. How you talk about how baby mamas and about how the
That was his wife, by the way.
no, this is at 7 years old in his blue truck driving up to his house during his visited monthly visit, talking about baby mamas and burger flippers. Burger flipper is Papa, by the way.
Yes, he used to manage a restaurant.
Yep, but he was just a burger flipper.
Anyway, yeah, we have some maybe repressed rage from that situation too. That might just brings up stuff.
But he just does it so infamously well.
So after the last commercial, last Thanksgiving 2023, I'm assuming, the whole family basically spent it with Logan and Michelle in Vegas. I think they still live in Vegas. And I guess Cody and Robyn and their kids did their own thing as usual. But they said that a big family event was coming up, and everyone will be there at the same time, including Robyn and her kids. And I don't know if it's a family reunion, if it's
Just an event.
I'm pretty sure there was a family reunion or I think it was a wedding. A cousin got married or something, and they were all there. Maybe I'm thinking of Plathville. I don't know. It could be.
Something is happening, and they're all going to be in the same place.
And they all have anxiety about it, and I don't blame it. But here's the thing. Then they go throwing back to several years ago now to the gift exchange text thread that went on the whole mess. And first time we've seen any of Robyn's kids in a hot second here.
Yeah.
And Aurora says that multiple people told her many times over the years that she wasn't their sister and was not accepted. Well,
Who?
maybe when they were small children, because kids are mean, especially little boys and sometimes little girls. And there was a lot of them.
And the thing is, though, is that when they first joined the family, they weren't even adopted by Cody yet. They were still they still had their dad at least tied to them. I'm assuming, did they visit at the time, or was that,
Yeah, they were visiting their dad at the time.
Well, yeah, so that, again, you weren't technically their sibling yet.
Yeah, not until they got married.
Yeah, and so when you guys were trying to first initiate, and they start talking about how the parents should have tried harder. And
yeah, Brianna said that she was that the parents should have done a better job with connecting the kids.
I'm on Reddit enough to know if it's not done naturally, the blending won't work.
You can't force. How many kids were there at the time? Like 12? Or something like that at the time, with the new ones. I think there was like 14 or 15. Anyway, there was a lot of kids running around, and all of them were like 15 and under, I think.
Yeah.
The oldest one was Logan. I think he was like 15 at the time. And the littlest one was like still in
Like,
Lucy's belly.
right?
She wasn't even born. So I mean, it's been a hot freaking minute, and I don't know. It's just it was done badly, and you can't. You get hindsight 2020. You
Right.
can't go back and fix it. However, going forward, acknowledging that those things were done incorrectly and letting go of that
Yes.
childhood relationship and coming together as adults
Yeah.
and saying, hey, we're family. We need to, connect, you and me, discuss what we need to discuss and build a relationship individually. When they come together as a herd, it's very overwhelming and they're intimidating as a group.
Yes.
Because they're all very loud and they're all very Cody. They're loud and opinionated and, they just want to be right.
And with a lot of people, you have to be loud.
Indeed.
I
And Cody said, and it kind of sums up his entire life. He says, quote, "It was my club and I got kicked out of it."
I just had a realization. So even on like a scripted show where Robyn probably thinks about her answers and everything, she still sounds stupid and selfish and just an idiot.
Yeah, she sounds too rehearsed, like she's trying to be like the perfect wife and mom, and it sounds too rehearsed to me.
And I said, but no, it also sounds very stupid when because we know all the information. We have the evidence on episodes. You can't just rewrite any of that. And it makes me think, if that's supposed to be the rehearsed version, what would she have said at a funeral in her nice, I'm trying to help kind of tone?
But it's always still about me.
Right? And at a funeral for one of the children, I'm starting to think, I don't know if it was her saying it or.
I'm sure it was making it all about her and not letting the actual birth mother be the one in grief. And, the primary grief.
She was so emotional. Oh, there might have been an actual tear.
Maybe. Okay, guys, that is it for Sister Wives season 19, episode 2. We are dedicating our entire Big Mama's House season to suicide prevention. If you on your cell phone want to talk to someone, all you have to do is call 988. You can talk to the suicide hotline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in English or Spanish. Or if you prefer to text, if you're not a big talker, that's fine too. On your cell phone, just text pound 988. That's the little number symbol if you're not familiar with the pound symbol. Please reach out. Every single person in our house has either been depressed, suicidal.
Just the hashtag.
Oh, that's the hashtag. Thank you. But we've been there. We understand. People do care. We've been there. We thought nobody gave a shit about us. That everybody would be better off if we were gone and everything. I made everything worse. That's how I felt, and it's not true. And tomorrow can be better if you get help. So please do so.
It sounds hard. The feeling will pass, but it's hard now. And we know that, which is why we're dedicating our entire season to it and why we just understand about the difficulties.
And we really, really, really want you to live and to reach out for help. Okay, guys, until next time, bye.